The small motors of the diesel-electric locomotives are tacho generator, axle generator, fuel pump motor, crankcase exhauster motor, and the dust exhauster blower motor. Here, we will talk about the prescribed maintenance procedures for the tacho generator, axle generator, and the fuel pump motor. The maintenance procedures for crankcase exhauster motor and dust exhauster blower motor are similar to the fuel pump motor. Check the fitment of the tacho generator and ensure that the wire is properly secured in the flexible pipe. Visually check all the foundation bolts of the tacho generator. They should be intact. Open the terminal box of the tacho generator and check all the terminal connections for tightness. All the connections must be fully tightened. Open the back side cover of the tacho generator and check the backlash between the nylon gear and the cam gear by moving the rotor slightly in clockwise and anti-clockwise directions. Slip a piece of paper between the rotor and the stator to check the gap between them. If the paper slips freely between the rotor and the stator, the gap is appropriate. If the gap is not appropriate, check the fitment of the motor and take action. Ensure that all the foundation bolts of the tacho generator are present and are fully tightened. Check all the foundation bolts of the axle generator. All the foundation bolts must be completely tightened. Ensure that all the wires are properly secured in the pipe and the pipe is properly clamped. Check the rubber coupling and the split pins. The rubber coupling must be in good condition. If the coupling is broken, send the axle generator for repairs. Ensure that the axle generator is moving freely in its stator. Open the terminal box of the axle generator and check the terminal connections for tightness. All the terminal connections must be completely tightened. In the A schedule of the fuel pump motor, run the fuel pump motor for 15 minutes. If any abnormal sound is observed from the motor, trace the fault in the fuel pump motor and take appropriate action. If any abnormal heating or abnormal odor is observed, check the current drawn by the fuel pump motor. Connect an ammeter in series with the wire number 71 and the motor coil. The current drawn should not be more than 12.5 amperes. If it is, examine the reasons for the excess current drawing and rectify accordingly. Clean the exterior of the fuel pump motor with clean lintless cloth. Then air blow the motor with dry compressed air thoroughly. Now clean the interiors of the fuel pump motor with both dry and wet cloth moistened in recommended solvent. After the cleaning, check the commutator condition. there is carbonization on the commutator, clean the commutator with lintless cloth. In case of heavy carbonization, use emery paper. If any ovality is observed in the commutator, send the fuel pump motor for repairs in the section. If any sparking is observed in the commutator, check the carbon brush spring, pressure, size of the carbon brush, ovality of the commutator, and shifting of neutral axis, and take appropriate action. Now, check the carbon brushes for their free movement, size of the carbon brushes, condition of carbon brush pigtail shunts, carbon brush holders and carbon brush spring pressure as explained earlier in the traction alternator section. Also check the fitment of the carbon brush pockets. Clean the pockets with clean lintless cloth. Ensure that the rubber sealing arrangement between the fuel pump motor cover and body should be proper. All the foundation bolts of the fuel pump motor should be completely tightened.
Send the fuel pump motor for overhaul in the section after every 6 months.
In the A schedule of fuel pump, check the fuel booster pump seal. Ensure that there should be no sign of oil leakage from the pump seal, suction pipe and the delivery pipe of the fuel booster pump. If there are any signs of oil leakage, send the pump for repairs. Visually check the condition of Lovejoy coupling and the spiders. If there is excessive wear and tear in the coupling arrangement, send the fuel pump to the section for a change of Lovejoy couplers. The spiders should be in good condition. Ensure that the gap between the couplers is appropriate. If the gap is excess, adjust the gap with an Allen key. Before adjusting the gap with the Allen key, ensure that the key of the couplers is not sheared off. Check the tightness of Allen screw of the coupler using an Allen key. Ensure that all the foundation bolts are fully tightened. In the C schedule of the fuel pump, send the fuel pump for overhaul in the section.
After every 6 months,